Hello guys and welcome back to yet another League One predictions video, the first one of the new season 25-26. And yes, look who's back again. Benjamin Bloom, tell a friend, how are we?
I'm good, mate. I was just kind of thinking about it. Hope springs eternal at this point, and I'm not behind Matt in the predictions as we sit here right now. But League One fans, strap in. We were just joking. Number one of 46. We're going to try and do it. We did it last season, and it was great fun, Matt, wasn't it?
Oh, I've been so excited for this throughout the whole of July. I just wanted the return of weekly predictions, and here we are. Of course, League One starting this weekend, a week before the Championship, 2 weeks before the Premier League. They will come, of course. But really excited to get into this, guys. Of course, we've got some new faces. Welcome to the league, Doncaster Rovers, Port Vale, Bradford City and AFC Wimbledon. And welcome to the league from the Championship, Luton Town, Plymouth, Argyle and Cardiff City. It's going to make for a really open division, I think, this year, Ben. I think it's just going to be chaos. That's what we want, though, isn't it?
It's what we get in League One. We'll say many times through the show, this is the place where ex-Premier League teams meet. Wigan, Reading, against teams that we say lovingly, Stevenage maybe have Burton come up from non-league. Fascinating division. Maybe should we put this to the audience? Am I banned from moaning about 4 teams being relegated? Should we just ban me from doing it? Because that's the one thing I hate about this league. But as Matt always says, unluckiest position in the whole 92 is 21st in League One.
It certainly is. Yeah, it certainly is. It's gonna be chaos down at the bottom. I think when you're rock bottom, it feels like a mountain to climb to get out of it. But the excitement is, Ben, that it drags mid-table teams even more into the relegation scrap, I suppose, if you look at it that way. So we'll just remind you guys of the scoring system. Feel free to play along with us this season if you want to keep tabs on your scores. Of course, 1 point if you get the correct outcome. So if you backed Plymouth Argyle to win and they won, 3 points if you got the correct scoreline. So if you said they'd win 2-1 and they won 2-1, and 4 points, you get a bonus point if you went for a result which had 4 or more goals. Was it 5 or more, Ben? Was it 5 or more? It was 5. There you go. I've forgotten. 5 or more goals. So a 3-2, a 4-1. I know, I need to get back into the swing of this.
You need some pre-season friendlies. We should have done a pilot, shouldn't we?
Oh dear. Right, so guys, feel free to support us as well before we get into this. If you want to be making sure you see all the League One videos as they go out, make sure you're subscribed. We'll be here every week. Make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe, of course, to Benjamin Bloom. The first link in the description. Ben, I think you're like teetering on the edge of 50k. Can we get him over the line?
Oh God, that'd be a fine thing, wouldn't it? Yeah, but yeah, that'd be lovely. And Matt and I were kind of discussing this. It's been absolutely brilliant that we kind of made friends with lots of. I mean, kind of knew the Birmingham fans a lot anyway, but the Charlton and Wrexham fans, and then it passes through when we cover the Championship. So yeah, fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. So like I say, please do get involved, guys. Ben is absolutely fantastic. We're here every week. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe over here. Ben, I think that is everything. Let's dive in to the predictions. And I'm going to let you go first for Friday night's game between Luton Town and AFC Wimbledon, which is the two teams furthest apart when it comes to where they finished in the football pyramid last season. Luton Town, 22nd in the Championship. Wimbledon came up through the League Two playoffs.
And I think we can all fairly safely guess, even though it won't be released for another 18 months, probably furthest apart in terms of budget. And this is going to be a recurring thing. Welcome Luton to League One with a year 2 parachute payment. How about that? They should be able to rip this up. And I suspect a fair few people, Matt, when they were doing the 1 to 24s, I just uploaded mine yesterday and Matt's was out last week. I think a lot of people might have first and 24th possibly for these two sides. So I'm going to go for the home win, which is fairly predictable. But you could argue it as, it's just one of those chaotic ones. It's opening day. Anything can happen. Maybe if this was down at Plough Lane, we'd be thinking a bit differently. And, Wimbledon obviously just didn't concede any goals, did they, to get over the line. So there is that side. Could they frustrate something and, I don't know, grab a result? I can't see it. I predicted Luton are going to win the title. I think you have as well, Matt. So let's start off. Let's go for it to be nervy, though, and that Wimbledon defence to kind of perform. And here comes the first scribble of the year for Matt SB. Luton 1, Wimbledon 0.
It actually is.
Because it
oh,
is.
No. Oh, God. You've literally
Did you mention that in the rules, Matt, just in case people don't understand that?
Yes. So to clarify, a scribble is if I had a scoreline written down or Ben had a scoreline in his head and the other person who goes first takes it away from them, we can't have the same prediction for the same game. And I will also be implementing those rules with Sophie from this season now on as well.
Hold it to account.
So... the logic, I mean, yes, by the way, you were right to say a lot of people are going to have Luton to win the league and Wimbledon to finish bottom, because that is actually my prediction. However, I don't think it's going to be this massive landslide and Luton smash them up. I think, like you said, Wimbledon were very methodical in the playoffs last season, good defensively. I like Johnny Jackson, and I think they'll come and make it tight, but I thought Luton's quality might snatch it 1-0. So now... I might have to go 2-0, but it's not really what I wanted to do. But there you go. Those are the rules. Luton 2, Wimbledon 0, a winning start for the
Did you
Hatters.
spot that sly dig, viewers, as well? Did you hear Matt said, if I've got anything written down or Ben's got anything in his head, he knows full well my levels of preparation, doesn't he? Yeah?
Oh, Ben, that wasn't very fair. I'm sorry.
Mate, it's true.
Moving swiftly on.
Yeah, please.
We have Cardiff City versus Peterborough United, Ben. I think quite a few people have concerns about Peterborough this season, Ben. They're always sort of selling a lot of their better
Ali and
players.
George on not the top 20, have them getting relegated.
Yes, I believe Callum Fowler might as well.
Does he?
I've got them struggling. I haven't
Where did
quite
Callum
got
have
them
Barnsley, by the way?
in the playoffs.
Of course he did, yeah. Hi, Callum.
We like Callum. I've got Peterborough to struggle. I haven't got them going down. I have got Cardiff City in the playoffs. I think Ben might have them in the top 2. I think Brian Barron Murphy will get Cardiff off to a winning start and go 2-0 Cardiff.
Yeah, so I've made a bit of a gamble in the 1 to 24s, which means in round 1 I obviously have to back Cardiff. So I've gone for Cardiff size, and let's be fair, we're talking about Huddersfield here when we're making the comparison, just the inexperience there of Lee Grant, who could be brilliant. So with that being said, I've got to go all in here on Cardiff. I will be continuing my tradition when it comes to Peterborough and Mansfield of both teams to score every single week. So, Matt, I'll take your prediction, which I could, that's a not bad shout, that, mate, but I'll go 2-1.
Yeah, there you go. The first prediction this season with 2 teams, both to score, and it has to be a Peterborough game. Ben, we'll move on. We're both back to Cardiff and Luton so far. Are we going to back Blackpool? They take on Stevenage. I've got Blackpool as my dark horse this season to sneak into the playoffs. I've liked their business, and we liked them last season with Steve Bruce. Stevenage, always solid, and I think they'll be mid-table-ish again.
To be fair, we were so happy to be proved wrong by Stevenage last year, because I think we both thought they'd fall off a cliff, and they were better. I have got them dropping down a few more places this year. So yeah, let's go with Brucey to get off to a good start here. I'm going to take a 2-0. 2-0 Paul.
Yeah, I quite like that. I'm not going 2-0 just because I've done two 2-0s already, and I don't want to repeat myself too much. I'll go for both teams to score on this one. I fancy some late drama. I'll go for Blackpool to nick this 2-1 towards the end, and a winning start for Steve Bruce. It's not going to be a Steve Deuce, Ben, because we know they liked a lot of draws last season at Bloomfield Road. There you go. Got a winning start for Blackpool.
And the first pun.
The first pun of the season.
Get it in there.
The Brucey train is back up and running.
It's rolling.
Bradford City are in League One. It's good to have them. They take on Wycombe Wanderers, who, of course, lost in the playoffs in the semi-finals, of course, to Charlton, who went on to get promoted last season. This is a tricky one, isn't it, Ben? Wycombe are the team I think is going to finish higher this season, but it's the first game of the season, which throws up surprises, by the way. And Bradford have that home advantage, and we know that comes with about 17,000, 18,000 home fans. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go Bradford 2, Wycombe 1.
Yeah. I'm contemplating a 0-0 here. I've still got the last thing we all saw of Wycombe was just that horrible playoff semi-final. It was just atrocious, wasn't it? And
sorry, Ben, where have you got Wycombe this season?
I think like 8th, 9th or something. But I did factor into my thinking that, and I know it's a bloke's job and life's work, but that it might be a different manager finishing the season than starting the season. I hope I'm wrong about that. I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but I just didn't really click with that at the end of last season. It wasn't working for me at all. I know there's money behind Wycombe as well, so I'm sure the aspiration, especially now you've got Birmingham and Wrexham out the way, because frankly, most other seasons, play this history out, most other seasons, Wycombe are clear top and probably get promoted last season. Don't know how long with Stockport if you just remove two moneybags teams, don't you? So I won't go for a 0-0, but I'm going to go for a draw. I'll go for a 1-1. Call that one down the middle. Big welcome to the Bradford fans as well. I'm expecting big numbers from you lot, given the amount of people through the doors in the stadium every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I say, Bradford City, big club, former Premier League club, of course, as well, Ben. And momentum could be a big factor coming into the start of this season as well. Although they kind of limped over the finish line. The League Two promotion race towards the end between Walsall and Bradford was crazy, but a 96th minute goal that sent them up, and it's good to have them back. We move on, Ben, to Burton Albion versus Mansfield Town. You're kicking us off for this one. Where are you going with this?
Well, if it's the start of the season, it's an away win, isn't it? Because Burton are terrible at the start of the season and Mansfield are really good, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Ben. I remember at the first game of last season, I think it was the Friday night, Barnsley-Mansfield. We both had Barnsley to win, and Mansfield did win away from home at Oakwell. So, yeah, there's definitely something there.
I think you might have just convinced me then. I will, I'm going to do it. I don't think anyone's had an away win yet. Burton 0, Mansfield 2. Which, completely... I will just caveat that by saying Burton were very good at the end of last season and Mansfield weren't, but it's a new season, so I'll go with that ludicrous logic. I've got Burton to go down as well. They've been on the edge the last 2 seasons.
That's interesting. I've got Burton to just stay up, and I've actually got Mansfield to go down.
But you've got Burton bottom with 8 games to go and then staying up, yeah?
Escape again, yeah. Do you know what? It's a very good point, by the way. I don't know what you can read into a team that had great form towards the end of last season, because there's a massive gap now until the start of the new season. So, does momentum carry on? Well, just based on the fact I have got Burton to perform better this season and they've got the home advantage, I always think, Ben, and I will be proven wrong, I'm sure, by 1 or 2 teams today, but a home advantage on the opening day is quite a big thing. I think it's quite difficult to go get away wins on the opening day.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, yeah.
Burton 3, Mansfield 2. I'm going to go for my first bonus point of the season. Let's just go.
Where did that come from?
It's Mansfield, Ben. Let's chuck some goals in there.
Blindsided me.
There you go. So we've got 2-0 Mansfield and a 3-2 Burton, just to spice things up. All right, Ben, I'm up for Doncaster versus Exeter. I've got a couple of reservations about Exeter City this season. I think they were pretty comfortable last season, weren't they? They were 16th, but they did have a honking run in the middle of the season, if I remember correctly, where they only won about 3 or 4 games over the space of 20. I just wonder if they're going to be overtaken by a few teams, including Doncaster, the teams coming up from League Two, who tend to do all right. You usually get about 3. I'm keen to get the statistics on this, but it feels like you usually get about 3 of the 4 coming up that actually stay up. And I like Grant McCann. I'm going to go for a Doncaster 1-0 win.
I am also going to go for a home win. You said momentum a couple of times. I think in my 1 to 24, I had Doncaster highest. I mean, it kind of stands to reason given that they won the League Two title, didn't they? But yeah, bit of a slide from Exeter, and I don't know whether we're coming down off a peak now. I've got them going down. So yeah, I will be back in Doncaster then. Let's go for I've had a 2-1 home win. There'll be many of those this season. A 2-1 home win.
There you go. Both back in Doncaster. Like I say, good to have them back in League One, of course. They were in the Championship not too long ago. And Ben, we move on to Huddersfield Town versus Leyton Orient. Now, I remember this on the final day of last season. Orient rocked up to Huddersfield and they beat them 4-1 to get into the playoffs. And it kind of said where those two teams were at that point. Huddersfield had missed out on the playoffs. Orient were going into the playoffs with quite a lot of momentum. I don't think either of us are going to go for Leyton Orient to win this one 4-1, Ben. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking this is the biggest headache on the... No idea. Absolutely no earthly idea, because even though we wouldn't pay much attention, like you say, to a round 46 result, essentially the Orient team that finished in the playoffs is no more. And the Orient fans, to be fair, in the comments on my 124 were saying, well, yeah, I agree with you, Ben, the team's different, but we've recruited pretty well, and they've got cash for Galbraith. Obviously, Kelman was on loan, so it's not like they developed that player and then they're getting the money, but the goals were nice, weren't they? And the keeper as well was on loan, and he's disappeared. And then Huddersfield, I just don't know. I mean, in terms of the spending and, the guarantee of Alfie May, the safest signing you could possibly make if you're a League One side. But I just don't know whether Lee Grant's going to be at it. We know Wellens will be at it. Of course he will. He's been amazing for Orient. The only thing I can think to do, Matt, is just call a boring 1-1 on the basis that all of the above will kind of be true, that they'll be feeling out their sides, just trying to ease into the season. And we're going to find out more about both sides week 8, week 10 or whatever, because it's just a fresh start for both. 1-1.
Okay, I find that interesting. I believe both myself and Ben have Huddersfield in our top 3 or 4. We did say off camera, I mean, I definitely said that a bit wary after last season because we both had them quite high and they didn't even make the top 6. And then Lee Grant coming in. Not to say it can't work, but it's just like the unknown, isn't it?
They could be first, mate. They could be first. Could be, yeah.
I wouldn't blame anyone for putting Huddersfield to win the league. They've brought in plenty of good players. Alfie May, in particular, goal machine at this level. Leyton Orient, now I like them as a club, and I think Richie Wellens is going to do well. I just wonder if it might take a few games to bed in the new players. So with that, I will go with Huddersfield. I'll go for a narrow one. I'll go for another 1-0. I'll go for Huddersfield to just get the 3 points and get up and running. Just
quickly on Wellens, though, Matt. And I'm contradicting both of us. Do you remember when they won League Two? They were, from the word go at the start of that season, someone will tell us in the comments, they must have won like 10 of the first 12 games or something crazy like that. So if there is a manager out of these two who's going to get a good start, well, it's not Grant, it's Wellens, isn't it? But hey-ho, we'll see.
Yeah, it is a good point.
Just before the Orient fans say that in the comments.
No, it's a very good point. Well, there you go. We've got a Huddersfield win and a draw. Ben, we'll move on to Lincoln City versus Reading. So I'm first for this. Oh, this one's giving me a headache, Ben. I don't think there's much to separate these two. I have got Reading to finish slightly higher this season. Obviously, just missed out on the playoffs last season. They managed to get bought. They've got a new owner. That's great. I think Lincoln City could be solid. James Collins, obviously, when he came in, he got a good goals to game ratio. I haven't had a draw yet. I'll tell you what, Ben, I haven't even had an away win yet. I better go for a draw, though. Lincoln 1, Reading 1. I'll go for an away win soon.
I'll take the away win then, because I've upset the Reading fans. I had them dropping off a couple of places in my 1 to 24. I just thought that they punched incredibly above their weight last year with all the troubles, and the siege mentality is gone now, and Sellers has gone, and I think there's also the factor of the underperformance of, Bolton and Barnsley and Huddersfield last season that might make it a bit more squiffy in that area of the table, if you know what I mean. But by way of an apology to the Reading fans, let's give them 3 points. Opening day, Lincoln 0, Reading 1.
There you go. Fresh start. All right, Ben, let's go down to Home Park. A long old journey for the Barnsley fans. Plymouth versus Barnsley. We both expect Plymouth to be pretty good this season. Barnsley always have the potential to be pretty good. Where are you going with this?
Well, let me ask you, did you get completely mixed comments from the Plymouth fans in your 1 to 24s? Like, some of them are saying, oh, you're being way too optimistic for us, Ben, with changed manager, the centre-half going to Stoke, Hardy, who was really good at championship level as well. He'd have been just guaranteed goals, wouldn't he? Randell... Was he the captain, I think, possibly?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then others are saying, no, Plymouth, League One, bosh, should all work out. Conor Hourihane, another kind of inexperienced manager that we don't have much evidence on. I'm going to use your words against you here. Home advantage means a lot on opening day. And also, not wanting to patronise League One clubs, the Plymouth thing, as you said to me before we came on, that does become a thing in League One where you're not dealing with insert, I don't know, ex-Premier League, insert Burnley who can, travel in complete perfect style with the best medical advice and everything. And, when it's League One sides turning up at Plymouth on a Tuesday night or whatever, you see that home record start to flex, don't you? And it's been difficult for them, the flip reverse, going away for decades, so I understand. But yeah, it's a very long-winded way of, let's go. Oh, go on. Let's go for some goals. 3-1. I'll stop short of a bonus point, Matt. 3-1, Plymouth.
Right. That is a scribble, though, Ben.
Is it? What's you thinking?
Home advantage. I love Plymouth at home park. Last season, Ben, even though, of course, they went down, beat Sunderland at home, beat Sheffield United at home, smashed Coventry at home. I think they drew with Bristol City at home. Even on the final day, gave Leeds a really good game at home. And Plymouth were virtually down by that point. So I like the home advantage. And I completely agree with what you've said, that there'll be a big difference between the home and away form. But they only have to be fairly good away from home. As long as they're really good at home, that will still be enough for top 4, maybe even top 2. Because obviously, remember the season they did go up, Ben, 22, 23, I think. Was it 60%, probably more than that, of their points came at home that season.
And
so
I was supporting a rival team going, will you stop winning? Just stop. Enough.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a difficult one for Barnsley. I was really happy with 3-1. There's definitely goals in this. Oh, go on, Ben. Let's go for another bonus point. 4-1. 4-1 Plymouth.
So Plymouth top.
Yeah, I'll go Plymouth to be top after game week 1.
Wow.
I think they're going to be really hard to stop at home park. And I feel bad for Barnsley because they're not that bad, but I just think this is me saying that Plymouth are that good. I think Barnsley will be all right this season. I think they'll chase for the playoffs, but I just think Plymouth are a different level for me. So there you go, 4-1. Ben, Rotherham United, are they going to be chasing for the playoffs this season? They take on Port Vale, of course, who came up from League Two. Darren Moore. I quite like Port Vale. They have yo-yoed a little bit over the last few years where they've gone up and come down and gone up and come down. I'm looking for an away win here, Ben. I'm not sure if I can do it here. Suppose it'd be bold. Yeah, go on. I think I'm trying not to let my thoughts of Rotherham always being a strong League One team get in my way. They were pretty poor last season, and I think they could be marginally better this season, but I've got to try and remember how bad they were. Go on, let's go for a surprise. Rotherham 0, Port Vale 1. Let's back Vale to get off to a winning start. I do think Matt Hamshaw will get a grip on things eventually, but Port Vale coming up with some momentum, and I've got to go for an away win at some point.
I'll call it down the middle then, but I still haven't played a 0-0, but we're going to coming up, don't worry. Let's play a Desmond here. No one's had one yet. Rotherham 2, Vale 2.
Oh, I like that, Ben. Do you think there's going to be improvement from Rotherham this season?
I do, but the only logic I've got is what you've just said, that my experience of covering football is that Rotherham are at the top of League One. So I don't know whether that's relevant or not. Well, maybe that was It's difficult, Matt, isn't it? Because you look at these things, and if that was starting around the 2016 sort of time, that's going to be a 10-year period. And sometimes you just have to accept that period at said club is over, and there's a new reality. And I'm sure the Rotherham fans would like that to be that they're a championship club. But yeah, we get these ideas attached to certain clubs, don't we? And it's hard to shake them.
I think they'd be very happy for 6th place this season, Ben. They have a very good record in the playoffs as well, don't they, in the League One? So we will see. Right, we'll move on, Ben. Wigan Athletic take on Northampton Town. You're up first, and I think you're thinking goals, aren't you?
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. Well, I don't know whether I mean, is the kind of nonsense transition chaos period at Wigan over now? Can they just, pre-season with Ryan Lowe and get themselves moving again? And like I just said, is it just the case that the Dave Whelan era was something that happened in the late 90s through to the early teens, and Wigan go back to being a third-tier club, and there's no FA Cup win and Hugo Rodallega and Roberto Martinez or whatever classic
Ben
name.
Watson, wasn't it, with the goal?
Yeah, whatever classic names you want to mention. I don't know. I got Northampton bottom, so I've irritated the Northampton fans again. I hope I'm wrong. Don't want anyone to go down, but spoiler alert, League One fans, 4 teams are going down. That's the only guarantee on today's show. It will be happening. I'm going to back Wigan, and I'm going to back them 1-0, Matt.
Oh, Ben, that's another scribble. I thought you might go for the 0-0, but I agree that this is a low-scoring game. But I think this season, Ben, so long as Wigan keep that defence, because the defence was fine last season, it was just the goals. They got about 40 goals in 46 games. It's terrible, isn't it?
Oh, God.
But they've brought in Costello, Sadie, and Paul Mullin, of course, as well. So I think they've added 3 striking options there that will make some improvement. And if you can turn a couple of these 0-0 draws into 1-0 wins, as you've got them to do here, that could make a massive difference in them being in the playoff race. I can't go for a draw, Ben. I've got Northampton to go down as well. I've got them 23rd. I'll go 2-0 Wigan. I'll go Wigan to win this 2-0. Look at that. They're scoring goals for fun now. So Wigan Athletic to get off to a winning start. And then we move on to the final game, which I believe is on the Sunday. And this is a good one. Stockport County versus Bolton Wanderers. And I'm kicking us off for this one. This is a difficult one.
No clue, mate. No clue.
No, I don't think there's much between the two. I've got Stockport in the playoffs this season. I've got Stockport 4th. And I've got Bolton 7th. I was thinking of putting Stockport in the top 2, Ben, because as we've spoken about before, I remember you telling me this, that they make the playoffs, they have some heartbreak, and then they get promoted.
Oh, the continuity is so strong, isn't it? Yeah.
Challoner, I'm a massive fan of. I just think this window we've seen quite a few big names, part of the spine going out the door, which makes me think, not that they're going to have a drop-off, but are they going to be able to quite make the jump to the top 2? I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I don't know. This is a tough one, isn't it? Bolton, they've got to push for the playoffs this season. Schumacher as well, Ben. We like him. I think this is screaming draw for me. 1-1.
Yeah, that was where I was going. So that's a scribble. If I'm picking a winner, it's probably Stockport on home form. But there is still a sense that Bolton, if they just play to their level, that they're going to be in the top 6, whatever, and that they might have a bit more than Stockport. Oh my God. Is this TV as well? I can't call a nil effing nil on that, can I? Let me back Stockport. I'll just go for, we've got, and for all you clamouring in the comments, we got no evidence on round 1, have we? We literally got nothing to go on, and all of you that love to tell us, well, the evidence doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't, it's a little bit of a guide, but ho hum. Go on then. Stockport 1, Bolton 0.
Yeah, I think that's where I would have been if I had to try and pick a winner. So I do quite like that. And I completely agree with what you said. I think it was yourself that said it last season, that round 1, round 46 are the hardest weeks to predict because anything can happen. Like I say, guys, get involved. Get your predictions down below. It is great to be back. Comment, like, subscribe, and hit the first link in the description to subscribe to Benjamin Bloom. What can they find over there, Ben?
Oh, God, all meaning of nonsense. Unfortunately, we've been talking about Sheffield Wednesday again this morning because it looks like the last asset at Hillsborough is walking out the door today, from what I understand, and Danny Roll will be leaving Wednesday. So that's a nice, cheery bit of news for you. I do speak regularly with the great Sam Parkin, the EFL commentator, who has had the temerity to book a holiday during the first week of the season. How dare he? So I think Sam's coming on next week, but then he's going to be away for Ipswich's trip to Birmingham, which I've not been looking forward to for a long time.
But are you going, Ben?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe. Yeah. There's a plan in motion here. I have been given dispensation by the gorgeous Shaylee, and I may
brilliant.
I may be able to make that. So yeah, that could be I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy the game, but I'll enjoy the atmosphere and the spectacle. It's going to be fascinating to watch Birmingham in the Championship this season. The Harlem Globetrotters of League One last season, trying to do the same in the Championship. But yeah, loads of, similar to Match Channel really, loads of EFL stuff, kind of daily content. And yeah, and watch-alongs will kick in as well when the season starts. We try and cover the TV games. So yeah, plenty. If you're across Match Channel, you probably enjoy, sort of similar areas that we cover, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I've said before, guys, Benjamin Bloom is a massive inspiration for my own channel. So you will absolutely love it if you haven't already checked it out. But I'm sure you have. Like I say, guys, lots of content to come. There is also the Premier League check-in returning at some point. We'll give you maybe a bit more information on that when we find out. But yeah, do watch this space to find out a bit more about that. Otherwise, that's it. Thank you so much for joining, Ben. It's been great to have you back. We'll be back for round 2 next week. Take care, everyone. Peace out.